Hey guys, it is Miss Jamie. I am back with kind of an unusual way to read this week. Chapter 11 is really long. It is over 30 pages. So I decided, for your sake and mine, to read half of chapter 11 in this video, and then in the next video I will read the other half of chapter 11. Okay, so just to recap, if you've kind of forgot, we learned more about Mr. Peterson. We learned that he was the genius responsible for, well, they thought that he was a genius at first before they learned that he was cutting corners about the way that he was building amusement park rides and that he was making them dangerous. And we learned that he was responsible for Lucy's death and that his daughter was very good friends with her, which I'm sure makes it more complicated. Here's that picture of them if you forgot. Alright, and without further ado, here is half of chapter 11. Alright guys. I throw a pair of pajamas into my backpack and forego my toothbrush to make space for the audio manipulator. It's built, and all we need now is to add the pre-recorded audio. I survey my bag's contents and decide that pretty much covers all I'll need. Downstairs, as I slip on my shoes, Dad and Mom watch me a little too closely. "Excited for your big sleepover?" Dad asks. "Dad," I say, wincing. Sorry, you're super grown up, totally not a big deal hangout where you might wear pajamas and might not sleep." "That's not better," I say. "Just remember to brush your teeth," Mom says, and I swear to the aliens she can see straight through my backpack to my missing toothbrush. "Uh-huh." "And say thank you," she says. She's still irked that the Petersons haven't bothered to come by, but to her, please and thank you are holy words. "I will," I say. "And solve the mysteries of the universe," Dad says, and Mom gives him a look. "What?" "Are you implying that manners and hygiene are impossible requests for our son?" "Lou, he's 12. He's barely human at this age." I decide to end things before they get ugly. "I'll say thank you," I tell my mom, and she smiles like she's won. "And I'll ponder the meaning of life," I tell Dad, and he gives me a dorky thumbs up. I cross the street and do ponder, but not about life's meaning. I wonder how in the world I'm going to ask Aaron about everything I read in the old newspapers about Golden Apple Amusement Park, about his dad and Maya, because there's not even a sliver of a chance I'll be able to stop myself from asking. Mrs. Peterson glides into the room like she's on wheels. I don't even hear her until she's right behind me, a pile of sheets stacked up on top of a pillow cradled in her arms. I don't mean to jump, it's just that she surprised me. Wow, I know I forgot to put on lipstick today, but exactly how frightening do I look? "No, you don't at all. I mean, Nicky, I'm kidding, honey. I have a light step." "Mom's a teacher, but she danced ballet when she was in college," Maya says as she plunks down on Aaron's bottom bunk. "She even danced at one of Dad's openings." "No one invited you, pariah," Aaron says, nudging Maya off his bed. "Thank you, Mrs. Peterson," I say, taking the linens from her. She says, her eyes glazed over like she's distracted. "Oh, you can call me Diane, honey," she says, focusing on me long enough to lightly tousle my hair. "I said stop calling me that," Maya says, shoving Aaron's leg when he pokes her with his toe. "Ow! Your toenails are like knives." "Maya pariah eats farts and papaya," Aaron sings, still poking her. "Mom!" Mrs. Peterson, Diane, spreads the sheets across the bottom bunk of Aaron's bed. "Stop calling your sister a pariah," she says, clearly lost in more pleasant thoughts. She's humming quietly to herself, somehow blocking out the escalating brawl between Aaron and his sister. So, if you eat farts, does that mean you burp farts too? Is that why you always smell so bad? Maya flushes pink and glances at me. I do not smell bad. Mom! But Diana's already on her way out the door. She's moving slowly, though, almost like she's forgotten where the door is. All at once, Aaron and Maya stop arguing, and a sudden silence blankets the room. In that quiet, I can hear the faint song Mrs. Peterson has been humming to herself. Only now she's practically whispering it, like she's afraid to scare away the memory attached to the tune. Maya follows her, still glowing crimson, but she lands a final solid punch on Aaron's bicep on the way out. I watch her leave. Ever since I saw a photo of her, Lucy, and that other girl wearing the golden apple bracelet in the newspaper article, I've been trying to understand what would it mean that bracelet would find its way into my front yard. I still don't know, but I have a feeling Maya does, which means I'll probably never figure it out. Maya's even less of a sharer than Aaron, if that's possible. As soon as Maya reaches the stairs at the end of the hall, Aaron closes the bedroom door and waves me to his desk. He pulls a drawer open, and rather than take anything out of it, he reaches his hand all the way inside until it's shoulder deep and still reaching. I look at his desk, and it doesn't take me long to determine what I'm seeing is impossible. Flush against the wall, his desk can't stick out more than 1.5 feet. What the? Aaron smiles as he struggles to grip whatever hides in his magical desk. Then he gives up and pulls the whole drawer out, exposing its missing back. We duck down, our heads together, and I understand. There's a hole in his wall. The drawer has a false back. You really are a criminal mastermind, I say, and Aaron chuckles. Then he hauls out his treasure. It's a box full of junk of the very best kind. There are dismantled motors and remote control cars, parts of an old toaster, some speaker wire, clamps and locks, keys to nowhere, a discarded keyboard, a phone without its faceplate, and at least 3 broken calculators. It's a gadget head's bounty. Holy aliens, Aaron, I say, and he smiles in a way that I haven't seen him smile before. I think this is what pride looks like on Aaron. From one weirdo to another, I know how elusive pride can be. It's all the stuff I collected from the factory before you moved here. I wanted to make something out of it, except I don't know how. He looks at me. Think you can use any of the parts for your audio synthesizer? The synthesizer! I can't believe I almost forgot. Reaching for my bag, I pull out the finished product, and as quickly as Aaron's face lights up, it dims again. And I realize that maybe he wanted to help me finish it. It's not ready yet, I hurry to explain, and some of the light returns to Aaron's face. No? I shake my head and explain. We still need the recording. He smiles so wide, I think his face might split apart. Here's a picture of the fart synthesizer. You can see right there. An hour later, stuffed on Cerviva bars and bloated to the point of bursting, Aaron and I are a mess. I'm laughing so hard I can barely hold the microphone to the audio source. Every time Aaron lets one rip, we fall apart, rolling across his floor like beetles on our back. It takes everything in me to gather myself, and I plaster on my most serious face, placing a hand on Aaron's shoulder. Fine, sir, I say. I dare say that was your best work yet. He matches my seriousness, but only for a second, and then we both break. Boys, Mrs. Peterson says, peeking in the doorway. Are you planning to come down for pizza at any point tonight? Or, sweet Mary, what is that smell? I laugh so hard my sides pinch. Aaron wipes the tears from his eyes. Sorry, Mom, he says. We're, performing an experiment, I say. Creating art, he says over me. Then we bust up all over again. Well, whatever you're doing, open a window for Pete's sake, Mrs. Peterson says. That's toxic. Aaron farts, this time accidentally, and I have to bury my face in the bottom bunk to keep myself from laughing to death. Or suffocating. Either one is equally plausible. Once we've calmed down enough to choose a series of Aaron's choicest farts for the synthesizer, we're suddenly at a loss for things to do. It's late, but neither of us is tired. Still, maybe out of habit or boredom, we pull on pajamas and take to our bunks. Aaron on the top bunk, me staring at the slats from the bottom. It's not the right time, because no time is the right time, but somehow it seems more possible to talk to Aaron about his dad when I only have to stare at the mattress above me and not his face. So, I gotta ask, I say, trying to sound casual. No, I don't believe in aliens, Aaron says. Wait, what? Sorry, man. I know it's your, I don't know, religion or whatever, he says. It's not my religion. Then I catch myself, pushing my shock aside. Seriously, how can he not believe in aliens? The proof is overwhelming. I try again to bring up the most awkward conversation ever. So, what's up with your dad, anyway? The silence that follows is painful. I only have myself to blame. It was perhaps history's worst segue. What do you mean? Aaron asks, but he's quiet, and his voice doesn't ask, what do you mean, as much as, how much do you know? I mean, he's pretty intense, I say. This is excruciating. At this rate, it's going to take me a week to work up the courage to ask him what I really want to ask him. If Aaron knows that his dad is suspected of purposely making rides unsafe. Ugh, even thinking it sounds absurd. Still, I can't shake the feeling he wants me to ask him. Why else would he accidentally bring me to the Golden Apple amusement park? Aaron shifts in his bunk overhead, and I hold as still as I can so I don't miss a word. Just ask me what you want to ask me, he says, and suddenly he does sound tired. He sounds like he hasn't slept in years. It's the old Aaron again, the one I encountered on our first few times hanging out. He's old beyond his years, burdened by something unseen. I've aged him. I weighed him down by bringing up the past. A past he has to know about. Of course he has to know about it. Why did you want me to know about the park? I ask, and he's quiet for so long I think maybe he's decided to stop talking to me for the rest of the night. Then, after a long while, he says, he was a genius, you know. Like, a real Einstein-level genius. I don't say anything because I do know that. And I don't want to stop him talking now that he's finally started again. I'm not happy that Lucy died, he says, and this takes me off guard because of course he's not. Who would ever be happy about something like that? Then I remember something else he said to me in this very room. Something he said like a confession, even though I didn't know it at the time. What does make a bad person bad, then? Being happy when bad things happen? But he stopped after that, Aaron said, and I understand now. The accident that killed Lucy also killed Mr. Peterson's career, a career that was becoming increasingly reckless with every new venture. Then Aaron really does stop talking. Before long, I hear the slow, even breath of his slumber above me. The weight on him has disappeared, at least for now. But it isn't actually gone. The weight has shifted to me, and I wonder how I'll ever fall asleep like him. I lie awake for what feels like an eternity, staring at the slats above my bunk, thinking about how long Aaron's blamed himself for simply feeling relieved. Relief in the form of Lucy Yee's death. All right. That was not quite half, but I'm going to stop us there. It's a natural stopping point, as you can see with those asterisks. So thank you for tuning in to the first half of Chapter 11 of Hello Neighbor Missing Pieces, and I hope you guys have a super nice rest of your night. Bye!